Alright, how's it going, guys? Here we go. Here I am. I've been away for a while. I took a pretty long vacation and just got back from it yesterday. While I was gone, though, a few days ago, I received a message on YouTube for someone that has a FlyWing dirt bike like mine, same year and everything. And was wanting me to make a video about some of the different components on it, the different lines, wires, and all that. I guess kind of go over the bike and just talk about what I know. So that's what I'm doing real quick. I'm going to make a video about all the stuff on here. So, alright, getting back to the bike. Now this is going to look different than, well, pretty much any of your guys' bikes like these out there. First of all, let's see here. Let's focus on that. This is a FlyWing. It's a DT150 FlyWing. I don't know if you can see, and you can see right there, it's made in China. The date, see if you can see the date stamp. Anyways, it's 2005. It's 03/26/2005. That's what year this FlyWing DT150 is. As you can tell by the model name, it's 150cc. So anyways, I'll just break right into kind of the components. Like I was saying, it's going to look different than a lot of years because of the modifications I've put on it, and the modifications are in testing phase. That's why it kind of looks pretty crappy, the way the wires are ran and everything. But anyways, none of yours are going to look anything like this front end probably, because I was kind of going to do a cafe eraser kind of thing, which I am kind of rethinking now. I don't know. I'll do something similar to what it is right now anyways. I know I'm going to keep those mirrors and that headlight. I might flip the bars back the right way, but I don't know. Anyways, I digress. Alright, so going over the lines, as in brake lines, cables, wires, and all that good stuff. Starting from the front here. Okay, you got your clutch over here. Clutch cable, the way I have it, is routing around just because of the way the bars are here. It's kind of making this bubble, and then it goes down through the forks there, and then down into this little mount bracket. Let's see if I can focus on that better. So yeah, it goes down the frame, like I said, from the lever over there down through the forks along the frame, and ends up in that bracket, and then connects to this little arm right here, which is the clutch. The clutch basket is inside of here, inside the motor, and then this operates the clutch inside. So that's that line. And then switching over to this side, you have the front brake, front hydraulic brake, which has a hose brake line going kind of the same configuration, and kind of a bubble because of the length of it, of everything. This bike is set up to have taller handlebars, and since I've lowered the handlebars, it makes a lot of excess. So that's why everything's kind of in bubble form. Anyways, this one wraps over to this side of the bike. See, comes around. See if focus on that better. And then runs down the fork there, and then I have another big loop, actually a couple little loops here. Back up with the focus, and alright, yeah, so it runs down to the front brake. I'm sorry if I'm being kind of long and drawn out with the detail of this stuff, and kind of redundant, but I want to be thorough so that when you look at your bike, you'll be able to tell exactly what I'm talking about. So these go into banjo fitting on here, and there's a banjo fitting under this boot as well. I don't really know how much detail I should get into about the different components. But anyways, I'll just cover the basics. So anyways, that's the brake line, that's the clutch cable here. So you won't have a headlight, so typically, unless you've added your own, you wouldn't have a headlight, so I won't go into that cable. Okay, also going up to the handlebars, this should come on yours. This is the kill switch, the on-off switch, essentially. So you see on it, it says run. When the switch is in this position, it's to start it. And then this stops the motor, as you can see, is the off. And then that little wire bundle, let's see, back up here. I'll go around to this side. You can kind of see right here, this little cable here is coming off of that switch, and it runs down through the forks and goes to the coil right here. This is your ignition coil. This is where you get your spark from. So I've got the headlight wired or grounded right there on that screw, so don't pay attention to that. But there's a wire coming from the engine, which gives the electricity that's going to right there. And then the kill switch is actually wired into the ignition coil as well. So that breaks the connection from the stator on the motor, which is a generator. It generates the power, breaks that so that it cannot supply spark to the spark plug wire, which goes into the spark plug there at the top of the engine. Again, I apologize for being very rudimentary. I just want to cover everything. So if you already know what a coil is and spark plug and all that good stuff, then pay no attention. Anyways, alright, moving on. Like I said, the wire here is coming from the power supply on the engine, which will follow that around to the brain box. Whoa, what was that? Oh, heard something behind me. Anyways, don't worry about these wires here. Your bike will not have these. These are something I'm adding on, which is controls. Can't remember what this is called. Anyways, this is what will basically control your bike. It won't run without this. It's not the CD. Is this the CD? Yeah, this is the CDI. Anyways, so the wires come from the CDI to the coil there. But they also have wires coming from this is your main wiring harness right here, which goes back to, the way I've got it run is up and over the frame here, because I've got my own thing going here. Essentially, there's 3 wires that go up to your CDI box from the engine. There's another 3 wires that come from the engine that I'm using for my electrical system. So, following that cable further on, I've got it split right there, and those wires separated, because these 3 wires are what runs the bike. Some sticky stuff there. So following that down, the 6 wires go into, spilling gas everywhere, this cable, which runs into the motor. And it actually just runs under this casing to the stator inside of here. This is your AC generator. Yeah, So you got your AC in here, and then, like I said, that wire, the 6 wires come off of there and go up. That's pretty much it for electrical. So we can go to, oh, I missed one. Off of the handlebars over here, you'll also have your throttle. Throttle has a single cable, which I've got set up to come out underneath the handlebars. And let me switch to the front. You can see it right down here. This is your throttle cable. I've got it run through there, and that goes into the top of the carburetor. That controls your fuel consumption for the engine. And then really the only other well, there's a couple other things. So this is the main fuel line going into the carburetor. I'm getting gas everywhere. So this is what connects to the petcock valve on the bottom of the tank. And then you got a little fuel filter right there. And then it goes into the carb right over there. And then there's a drain tube coming out of the bottom of the carburetor, which just routes, let's see, that's a good angle for this. It just goes down and exits out the bottom right there. And then you can see there's another tube over there, which is a breather for the engine, which comes out of the top of the gearbox here. And that just follows kind of the same path down through the frame and exits there. That is pretty much it. Like I said, I got extra stuff here. That is my own addition. Let's see real quick. Yep. That is pretty much it in a nutshell. So, if you have any other specific questions, feel free to ask. And that'll do it. Alright, take care.